I never said I
Yeah,
would.
yes, you did.
This is From the Big House to the Penthouse podcast.
Right here, baby
Stories
cakes.
of addiction and recovery. The
Don't say
lie
with Big
is
Daddy.
dead.
We
We
do.
do recover.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of From the Big House to the Penthouse. As always, as always, your host is Enrique Ricky
And my
Cruz.
co-host Raul Moreno and Moeller, right? No, the Mold Master. What did we say? Ronnie Mold Master?
Ronnie Molinator.
Molinator, the Molinator. That sounds so cool, dude. Listen, man, I see you wearing these shades, man, these black shades, right? I'll be back. Right.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. So we're here again for another episode, man, from the big house to the penthouse. Stories of addiction and recovery. Again with my co-host, Ronnie. Who do we have? Actually, let's start by this. What did you do this weekend?
Just relaxed. Had some work done on the house, so
Oh.
that was interesting.
Yeah, what
But,
kind of work did you do? Did you have done?
We're getting the bathroom redone.
Really? What are you
Yeah.
doing? What are you doing to the bathroom?
Put a new tub and a shower and some other stuff.
A tub and a shower, and well, your wife said that y'all were putting a jacuzzi. Yeah, a jacuzzi. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little bit. That's
A
a little
what?
bit a jacuzzi. A jacuzzi. A jacuzzi. Woo, a jacuzzi. So yeah, they're gonna be party. Y'all gonna be partying at home, huh? You and you and the wife. That's
Yes, sir.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
So jacuzzi at home. Isn't that nice?
Very
Yeah.
nice.
So what else are you doing? Just the bathroom. And you know what? They say that and Rachel's here, by the way. Hello, Rachel. They say that when you start a project at home, shortly after that, you go to the next room, or then the next room, and then the living room. I think Rachel has something in mind for you, Ronnie, that she's not disclosing yet. I see a little shine back there on her smile.
It's
But
all
in any
good.
event, that's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
That's nice that you we're able to do that today. And
Absolutely.
recovering addicts not just have a home, but we're able to excuse me, we're able to make improvements on that home. We save a little bit of money, and then we invest it into our future, our home. It's really nice to hear, man. What about you, Raul? What did you do this weekend?
Man, I don't. What is today? I don't even know what
Today's Wednesday.
Uh,
The 15th? Is today the 15th? No, 16th? Somewhere around there. We're somewhere in the middle of the month.
I don't think I did anything, man.
No?
You know,
Well, we went and ate Sunday. We moved. You and I, we worked. Raul and I worked Sunday
we
morning.
did.
Yeah,
That was this weekend.
that was this weekend. You came over, and then we cleaned up. In fact, Raul, you tell them what you thought. You said that I wasn't going to show up. You
Oh,
said,
no.
dude, you showed up, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
No, I text him. I said, hey, let me know when you're at the shop. He's like, I'm already here. I said, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An hour later, he shows up. No, man, I'm messing with you. He showed up, man, and we started cleaning up. And dude, I found a lot of things that I'm very well, all the stuff I have, I'm close to, you know what I mean? So I was cleaning everything anyway, but that was fun. That was fun. We spent some time and we had an interest, and not to ignore our new guest. We're going to introduce her in a few minutes. That you're going to introduce him, but I wanted to finish the conversation with you. We had an intimate conversation about spirituality. Do you remember?
Yeah, we did.
And I talked about it last night. I go to a men's group with my pastor, Howard Agnew. He has a New Hope Church in Alvin. And him and I actually, we were talking about certain things about spirituality, and it was a good subject. And I want to bring it up, later on, maybe the next episode or something. It's really interesting, because I want to pick up where we left off. But Ronnie, tell us about our guest. So you're the one that scheduled him, and we all know him. In fact, his girlfriend, right? Naomi's here. She's also she's with us, and your wife is with us, and my wife is over there eating. You're doing a fabulous job, baby cakes. Fabulous job, I tell you. So introduce our guest, Ronnie.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity once again. The lie is dead. We do recover.
We do recover.
I'd like to introduce my good friend, Grant Johnson. Just wanted to see if you could give us a little experience, strength, and hope. Floor is yours.
Where do you want me to start?
Wherever you want.
So I guess how I was introduced to addiction was at a very early age. I was put on ADHD medication. Um, I was told I couldn't focus in school and that I couldn't perform like other children, and that kind of started the whole mindset of I'm different than everybody, if that makes sense. Um, so as time goes on, I they continue to up the dose to a point where I can't sleep, I can't really eat, and this isn't me placing blame on anybody. I want to clarify that this isn't my parents' fault. It's not a doctor's fault. This is just the start. And from there, I started exploring new substances and learned what self medication was. And that's really just the beginning. Today I'm extremely blessed because my better half is here, and she's the reason I came back. Our relationship was having some issues, and we were both using at the time. And a really beautiful thing happened because as our relationship was falling apart, I said, I think I know of a solution. Luckily, I was introduced to, the program when I was 19 and got a little bit of clean time, but decided to go back out because I still had reservations in my program. Um, so when I think about, the first part of the program, can I talk about steps? Is that
Talk about whatever you want.
Talk about
cool? So,
If you don't, can I ask a question real quick? Where you're,
Yeah.
what brought you into the? What brought you? What I'm curious. What made you? In the beginning, what made you think that you were different? Didn't I mean? Because me, when I was when I was younger, when I drank, I always drank too much, and I would black out, and I just thought that was normal. I thought everybody did that. What was your experience early on, early as young as back as you can remember? If you don't mind, just start the foundation for us, would you?
like, uh, man, so like in school, I had some friends, but I wasn't really part of like a clique per se. I wasn't that good at sports. Like I was okay. I was
Mhm.
mediocre at a lot of things. And I didn't fit in at church. I felt outcasted from that community a little bit. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that went on in my head that wasn't actually reality. So I kind of secluded myself and decided to start using and drinking to not feel those feelings. Now I have my best friend that I don't need anybody else for. I can just kind of do this and sit in my little bubble and be content. And so yeah, it was
When you say your best friend, you're talking about your partner.
no, I was talking
Oh.
about the dope.
Oh, then okay,
Yeah.
then right, okay, you're right, all right,
Yeah, no, that best friend came many years later.
right,
Um,
okay.
so yeah, the dope became the priority. It became my friend. I didn't choose dope over other things. It just kind of happened that way, right? I've got this thing that I can go to that I can rely on. That's consistent. It's always there, as long as I have enough money to get it.
Mm.
And so I leaned really heavy into that. And when I graduated high school, I went to Baylor for a semester, and I didn't even go to class. I went to 3 classes out of every college class that I had and used the rest of the time I was there.
Mm. But
And
isn't that what most people do in college? They party, they use, they say go to college to get your whatever out, right? I mean, that's what society I've heard say, right? Tell me, isn't that true, or am I making that up?
yeah, I mean, there's definitely a party culture in college. I wasn't really the guy at the frat party. I was the guy chilling in the parking lot by myself because, like being like, what's up, bro? Like that wasn't my thing,
Mm.
like toxic masculinity, I guess is what they call it these days. I just call it being a douchebag,
Mm.
but I choose not to, like beer pong and jumping off roofs and hitting golf balls at people's cars and shit wasn't really my thing. So
Oh, you're missing out, man.
Yeah, you should try it. Yeah.
Grant, if you don't
Yeah.
mind me interjecting, what was the deciding factor that made you realize you had a problem, and what steps did you take next to try to arrest the problem?
So that's a good one. Getting arrested the first time.
Yeah, that'll do
was-
it. yeah. 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 Bring that thing over here, man. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I know.
So I got arrested when I was 19, and my parents didn't really know what to do. This was shortly after I dropped out of college, and they didn't want to send me to rehab because, for their knowledge, I was just drinking and smoking weed, right? And so they didn't think I was like
That's normal stuff.
they didn't think I was a full grown drug addict, you know?
Yeah.
And so I ended up moving to a halfway house here in Pearland with your buddy Robert Martinez.
Mhm.
He ran that place. And
That's where we met.
yeah.
That's where we met the first time, right?
Yeah, so that's how my home group became the home group, where I got to know you guys at an early age, even though some of y'all, I know you remember me. He doesn't.
Of course I remember you. Yeah. I
But-
spent a lot of time there.
Yeah.
Didn't I bring, were you there when I used to bring fried chicken over there, right? At night?
Yeah.
I used to bring fried chicken and bring movies. We watched recovery movies, right? Up there
Yeah.
for a while.
Because there was like a women's thing one night, and so the men's meeting was always at the sober living house
Mhm.
because we didn't have a meeting place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember watching what was that movie with like Nicolas Cage?
I brought
like
that
Loathing
movie
in
yeah,
Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas. Yeah, that not Loathing. That was Leaving Las Vegas. And I'm going to tell you, and I hope you don't mind me interrupting, but that movie, I'm going to tell you something, dude. I can't watch it. I watch it, but you remember Lisa? I told Lisa's out over here, but I said, man, I have such a hard time watching that movie because it reminds me that these feelings of people going, you're a loser, man. And things that I did in restaurants, man. If you watch that movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. I have a really hard time watching it.
I've never seen it.
You
Yeah.
should watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where I was introduced to the program. I got to know a lot of people. There was a lot of people that planted seeds. And long story short, I put together 18 months. I got a really nice job working in the oil field, and money and women became a priority. And
Nice.
recovery was not. I was about to turn 21. We were about to go have some fun. So yeah, everything. The mental relapse was there before the actual relapse, and so when I did start using again,
How did you start using?
I started drinking.
So how did that lead us to that? What happened? Did somebody come up to you and say, hey, do you want to have a drink? Some girl came up to you and said, hey, cowboy, what's up? Brought me a drink. How did that happen? If you don't mind me, let us know.
At the time, I hated my job. I hated the hours.
You too?
I just didn't like everything. I don't currently hate my job, but at the time, that particular job I had, I didn't like.
Mhm.
Just chemical plants really aren't my thing. But so I had a bad day at work. Everybody else was going out to the bar, and just kind of said, "Fuck it," I've learned that is my most dangerous character defect is fuck it, because once I push that button, it doesn't unpush very easy. So yeah, I started drinking, and not long after that, I didn't have a job anymore, and I was using on a daily basis for the next 6 years.
So would you say that you just got a little overconfident? Look, man, let me tell you something. You get the job. Very few people that I know ever said that chemical plant job sucked. You know what I mean? I not very many people I've heard say that before, because it's usually a pretty good paying job.
I'm gonna fight you, Ricky.
I'm
After
sorry. I'm sorry. It's Lisa. She forgot to put my phone on. But so the guys, but it is well known that when these guys leave the job site, they all gather at a bar. Is that still what happens? You leave, and then they all gather at a bar because they worked all these hours, and then they're off for 7 days, or they're off for whatever days, and they're gonna go hit these bars, and then they're whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is that what happened to you, and you just followed the crowd and accepted an invitation one day? Or
I mean, I think it was burnout at the time, because I didn't work the conventional, like, we clock in for like a set shift and we do a set thing. We worked a ton of hours. You'd finish your shift at the plant and then go do call out. And so some days I worked 2 or 3 days straight with about a 2-hour nap in the truck. Then they put me on a 14 days on, 1 day off schedule. So I got 2 days off a month. So by the end of it, I didn't care about anything, all I did was work. I had enough money in the world to where I didn't care anymore, but I had no time to spend it. I had no time for Grant to be spiritually fit or relax or anything. It was, work is life. And my bosses there told me you can sleep when you're dead. That's the old mentality for that. It's
His
really,
last name wasn't Cruz by any chance, was it?
no, no.
Okay.
But that was an environment that was really hard to maintain balance. It was really hard to go to meetings working from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. for 14 days in a row. Um, and by the time everything was said and done, you didn't want to go to a meeting. You just wanted to sleep. And
Mhm.
so, yeah.
Grant, is there a time when you can pinpoint when you realize you had a serious problem? Can you
Yeah.
pinpoint it?
Yeah. About 4 years ago, I picked up a new substance that I tried once for 6 months. And, my thing is about control. Like I like to use, but I like to be in control of what's going on around me. And it got to a point where that control was slipping. I didn't have control over the decisions anymore. Um, it was the craving and the feeling of using no longer was, oh, I do it on my terms. It was now on that substance's terms. And you know, uh it was it was a pretty sobering like experience to have program in the back of my head and just kind of have that oh shit moment of, you know, these were my former experiences. This is what everybody was talking about in the rooms. This is gonna lead me to, jails, institutions, and death. And yeah, that day I put that particular substance down. Now I don't have 4 years of clean time, but I never touched that again. It scared the shit out of me. Um, I almost wrecked my car on the way to go get that substance because I was too busy texting, trying to get everything together. I was starting to go through detox to get that, and it was just one of those things where I had that epiphany of I can't live like this. I can function, and that's what I did. I stopped and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore, but this is okay. So, I can drink weed or I mean, smoke weed and drink all day long and have very minimal consequences to my actions because I know how to control it, if that makes sense. And not really like control it in a good way, but I can control the consequences that come with it. Right. I don't have to be in public to do those things. I don't have to get a DWI. I can do that at home. Um, the other stuff, it was when I got it, I had to do it right then and there. Um, and it just took a lot out of me mentally, physically, and spiritually more than any other substance has. And so yeah, that was really the eye-opening moment that I have a problem and I need to stop.
So if you can maintain smoking weed and drinking, what keeps you from doing those things that are legal everywhere and readily available? Why do you choose not to partake in those things?
Because my life is still unmanageable. Um, so even if I drink and smoke weed, there's, like they say, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. It's not the starting that it's the issue. It's the stopping. I remember showing up to work still drunk from the night before, choosing to go stay up and, hang out till 2 in the morning, having to show up to work at 6 and, full well knowing those things going into it. And, the program that I work today, it's all about how can I be the best version of me? And I know that I can't be the best version of myself when I'm using. Um, you know, Marijuana is the substance for me of complacency. I just sit on my ass and I don't do shit. And
Yeah.
I've yet to see
Yeah.
somebody that goes from being financially here to financially there, not doing shit. And
How's that song go? Because I got high.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I see people that smoke weed, right? And I'm gonna tell you, man, that these people think that they've said it. They're like, I can smoke successfully. I'm cool. I can keep my job. And I can drink successfully too. But dude, look, the fact of the matter is, let me tell you something, man. Any, in my opinion, right? Any substance that gets you out of your sixth sense, if you're not on your, you're not in your sixth sense, man. You know what I mean? That marijuana, man, it'll keep you from achieving goals, man, because it makes you, in my opinion, makes you lazy. And drinking, drinking, you putting these, all these yeast and stuff in your body gets you fat. You know what I mean? You don't exercise or whatever. But the thing is, the point is that what I'm trying to say, at the very least, man, it keeps you from your family. Us as Mexicans, when we have birthday parties, what's the first thing we do? And we know that they say when a Mexican has a birthday party, a birthday party for a little kid, the kid's over there playing in the street with his new toys, and everybody's over there drinking and having a great time. It's like, what is this? Oh, it's a birthday party. You know what I mean? That's what we do, man. Me today, I'm happy to say today, man, that my kid's birthday party, they are the center of the attention, man. And not for nothing, but I know two people that I invited to a birthday party didn't show up, but I'm kind of over it by now. But dude, we had, and I'm not saying to boast or nothing, but I had a clown, I had ponies, we had ice cream, everything that had to do for the kids. It was all about the kids. I had midget throwing. I didn't have no midget throwing, but I wanted to.
Hey, but you had the tacos.
We had the tacos too, and ice cream, but everything was for the kids, for my grandkids, man. And that, I'm gonna tell you something. If I was drinking, guess what? There wouldn't be no pony, there wouldn't be no midget throwing, there wouldn't be no all that stuff. It'd be like, you know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but go ahead, keep going, man.
No, that's good experience. So to be honest, the real reason that I don't drink or use today is I just don't want to.
Nice.
I've got a lot of goals in my life, and I have worked my ass off working really poor paying jobs and gotten nowhere with it. Dead end jobs don't take you anywhere. And, a big thing for me today is being present in life, being there for my family, being there when somebody calls and, asks for favors, or, if something breaks, we try to fix it today. And, when I'm using, I don't answer the phone. I don't do anything.
Yeah. I remember
most of the time.
Yeah.
I won't even answer because I'm just like too shy. Because I'm like, oh well, what if they know? I can't have my mom find out about that. And it's one of those things where even though I know how to use without having life-changing consequences, there are still consequences, and they're subtle. The first consequence is my perspective and outlook on life. And that's a big one. I'm very lucky that I've got some people that mentor me. One of them is my sponsor. Another one is actually Naomi's dad, and they invest a lot of stuff into me. And the hardest part of my program is between my ears, and it's simply phrasing stuff, right? Like a lot of people say, "Oh, I have to go to work today." For me, it's I get to go to work today. I have the opportunity to go make a paycheck and do a job that I like because of the fact that I got clean and somebody gave me an opportunity. And that's a big freaking deal, You as I've gotten through the program and I've started to look at things in a different light, you start to notice that two people can experience the same trauma but view it through two different lenses. They have two different views of their childhood. Those two kids that grew up with the mom in an abusive relationship, they'll have two different perspectives. And so the thing that I work on most is shaping my lens in life to look for the optimistic, because I've lived in negativity for so long. Like I'm tired of being depressed. I'm tired of, you know, treating me like shit in my own head. And being able to view things in a positive light and think of everything as an opportunity. Not only am I more receiving to my blessings from my higher power, but I also get to effectively work towards my goals, because when those opportunities come up, I'm not sitting on my ass on the couch. I'm not getting fucked up. I actually get to go, you know what? I have bandwidth for that. Let me tackle it. And that's a big deal, Opportunities are huge.
Grant, quick question. What are some coping skills that you use? Because after the obsession of drugs and alcohol is gone, that I feel like that's when the real work starts. So, what do you do to? What's a good coping skill you use? Because life still happens.
Prayer and meditation. Um, I was told never to forget the basics. Praying is I'm going to refer to it as God. But when I pray to God, that's me talking to God. It's not me asking for things. It's just saying, you know what, we're gonna have an open and honest conversation. I'm gonna be honest with you about what's going on in my head, and then I'm gonna sit for 10 minutes and wait for direction. The best way that I've heard surrender described was a guy talking about soldiers when they surrender. They said that they would put their weapon down and then you sit and wait for direction. That's meditation for me, is waiting for that direction from my higher power.
Ricky, you got anything?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. So, what type of behaviors do you think we must change in order to? Because behavior becomes situational. If we continue to do the same behavior, even when we're trying to get clean and sober, um, it could turn into bad stuff.
I mean, for me, like I'll keep it simple. I don't go to bars anymore. I don't shoot pool. I don't hang out at places where I know people are using because I'm a drug addict and I use. And like that'd be like if I was a chicken going to the dog pound and trying to hang out, right? I'm just gonna get tore the fuck up.
Do you think one day you can go to a bar successfully afterwards and have a successful life afterwards?
Yeah, I've actually hit a point where alcohol and drugs don't really phase me anymore. At first it was kind of like, oh my gosh, it's here. And now, I choose not to give it that power. I've been clean long enough and I've worked really hard to get spiritually in the right place to where, I can walk in a bar and go hang out and drink water or Topo Chico all night and,
Mhm.
not even want to, engage in that stuff. And then, my other general rule is if I'm hanging out with people that are drinking, once the alcohol starts talking, I start walking. Right. If you're too drunk to be present, I don't need to be here because you're not going to remember anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you my opinion on that is that,
I like that.
I have wondered. I have always lived my life on the edge, man. Even when I was using drugs, and even today, I do try to hold back a little bit, in some things. But that risk taking that I always did, man. I try not to take so many risks anymore. I think I remember, and your wife would remember that I went to a Snoop Dogg concert, man, and I almost lied and said I went to a meeting that next day, but it was the day after. Your wife called me out on that one. I said, I'm getting older, baby cakes, older. My redhead, I'm getting older and I'm forgetting things, right? But it was the following day, and then somebody said, I think it was Kristen. She said, or somebody went to a Cat Williams concert too, and then we shared about it, and I was like, but that's what we do. We go talk about it, Now let me tell you though. I do sometimes think about, I go, man, when I go to like and I don't go to bars, but I do have, we're members of a club in Houston that is a bar. It's and sometimes we went there that one time, we went and I said to myself, man, I mean, I second, what do you call it myself? What's the word? I second,
Guess.
guess myself. I'm going, man, should I really be here, man? Or should I not be here? And look, dude, because I'm going to tell you something, even the time that we have, we can, all we need is, like they said, we're only one drink, one hit away from disaster. And all we need, I mean, we go to places without going, man, I'm not going to use, I'm not going to drink, but shit happens. You know what I mean? We've had people with 30 years, 20 something years relapse, man. We can't get too confident either, man. We can't. I mean, and that's the message, man, that and if all possible, stay away. I've been lucky. I've been lucky, you know. I have a supporting wife that tells me, "Okay, let's go, dude." You know what I mean? When the freaks start coming out, we start leaving. And that's when I like to have fun. You know what I'm saying? But I need that. You know, hey, let's go. She tells me, "Hey, come on, let's wrap it up. Let's go." You know, and I need that in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm very fortunate that I have a wife, and she's not she's a normie kind of, and she ain't normal by any means, but she's normal in that part. But you know, I'm lucky that I found someone that doesn't like to drink, doesn't like to smoke, doesn't like none of that stuff. So I lucked out. You know what I mean? She likes to spend a lot of money on other things, but not on that, you know, and I'm okay with that. She doesn't spend a lot of money on anything. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was just we always have to be careful. They put these things in place of you know, you hang around a barbershop, you can get a haircut, man. And I think that we should all practice that, you know, and always have our guard up because they do say that our disease is out there doing push-ups, right? So we have to be there doing next to it, try to beat them on the next rip, you know. Let me ask you a question, man, and something that when I went to rehab for the last time, and I'm not gonna say that's gonna be the last time, but hopefully it is, right? I was handed over from jail to the rehab, and I went straight to Bay Area recovery, right? And I remember walking in, the house manager, which he passed away already, a great guy, man. I remember going into the room. They you know, there was a meeting they were going to have. It was shortly after I got there. They showed me my room where I was going to stay with a bunch of other guys. And then we go down there to the thing. And I remember being in the back and I'm like, I've been there like an hour and I'm like, you know what I mean? Who am I going to fight? Who's going to want to bite me or something? You know, that's what's, you know, I was a little afraid. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. But I remember he said something, man, that I'll never forget. And I'm going to ask you this. If you could use successfully today with no repercussions, nothing where, you know, Naomi won't, you know, look at you funny. She won't, the next day she won't know nothing. It's like you remember everything was erased. But if you could use today, would you?
Nope.
Speak
No,
into the microphone. Why not?
I wouldn't use. Man, my life has gotten way too good in recovery for me to even consider using today.
But look, there's not going to be any problem. Nobody's going to know nothing. Nobody, Ronnie, we're all going to be, our mind is going to be erased like the Men in Black. You know what I'm saying? A Men in Black type of deal. You know what I mean? Only you will know. Do you still have the same answer?
Yes.
Okay.
I have no reservations in my program. Running from shit always catches up to me, and I always have to deal with it later. And it's always worse when I have to deal with it. And, you know, before I got clean, I spent 6 years running from my stuff just to have to deal with every single bit of it once I started doing step work again. And, you know, it's more of a thing of integrity, right? I've made a decision that today I'm not going to use. I have no guarantees for tomorrow, but today I don't want to use. And even the days where I feel like using, you know, I've got a general outlook on life of that. You know, you put good shit into this world, you get good shit out of it. And I know I don't put anything into this world when I'm using. I tend to check out, and today I love being present.
So what about when you put good shit into the world, you get bad shit out? I mean, because I've heard people have put shit in that's good. They're like, man, why do I always have this cloud over my head, man? What am I, Charlie Brown or something, right? What about that? Have you ever experienced where you're just like putting all this good in and you're like, you just can't catch a fucking break? Have you ever had that? Or is it,
Yeah.
are you're everything's been great for you?
No.
Talk to me about that.
So
How do you get by that? I mean, what do you do?
it all kind of goes back to perspective and constantly working on the lens I view life through, right? You can't appreciate good days without the bad days.
But dude,
right?
those lenses get foggy sometimes too. What do you do?
Well, so I've come to the decision that I'm no longer going to have bad days. I'm just going to have bad moments. I'm not going to let one thing that one lady at a Kroger says to me that rubbed me the wrong way ruin the rest of my day. She doesn't
Sorry.
deserve that power
Okay.
over me. I spent a long
Good
time
answer.
taking my power and giving it back to God just to give it to somebody else who I'm only going to see for the next 15 seconds, you know?
I really like this fucking guy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I told you I'm an all right guy, bro. Oh, you're talking about him.
Yeah.
Well, God knows, man.
Yeah, we
I
weren't
was
talking
getting
about
up,
you.
well,
We weren't
Yeah.
talking
sorry.
about you.
Holy
You
shit.
see what I'm saying?
Grant,
You see what I'm saying?
I got a question for you. because I'm full of questions. What is some advice you would give to others who are just getting clean and maybe some do's and don'ts?
Mm. So if you're just getting clean, you know, it's the same stuff that I was told. Go to meetings, get a sponsor, get some phone numbers, and pick up the phone. Because if you like, my sponsor made me call him every single morning at 8 a.m. for about 60 days. And then it was at the point where, you know, we were already going to meetings every day. We went to 2 or 3 meetings a day because at that time I was unemployed. And that phone is so important because when shit hits the fan, when your ass is in the trenches, you got to have somebody to call because, you know, everybody needs a lifeline and it's not something that we do alone. Staying clean is something that we do together. And, I mean, get lost in literature. If you're bored, if you're thinking about using, there's so many coping mechanisms. Go for a run, go eat something. I know for me, sweets kept me clean for a long time, busting open some ice cream and stuff. You know, sometimes you just got to get through the day. Another thing is if you're having a bad day while you're just getting clean, go to bed early. You know what I mean? Nothing good happens at night. My head spins out in all sorts of directions. I'll, you know, have an argument with 4 people that don't even want to argue with me in my head. Just go to bed.
That's bad advice. I would say go and get on TikTok, man. That's bad advice. Get on TikTok. Ain't that right, baby cakes?
Yeah, I have to be honest though, Grant. When I first got clean, one of the many times, I would be like that. I
Get on
would
TikTok?
no
Oh.
TikTok wasn't even around when I got clean. Um, I would always say, poor, pitiful me. Why is all this happening to me? I'm doing the right thing, God. What's going on here? I need a break. And
You
you're
would
right.
say that you huh?
I was angry at God for a long time, Ricky.
Oh.
I mean, once I started working steps and realized that I was
But
mainly
were
the
you
problem.
high when you were saying? Were you high when you were saying, "Well, God, what about me? I'm doing everything right." Were you
No,
high?
no, I was
You were
clean.
clean.
Yeah,
And what was happening wrong with you? If you don't,
I just wasn't in a good place. Like I said, you take away the drugs and the alcohol,
oh, you were trying to get clean.
trying to get clean.
Okay,
But
right,
once
right.
you take the drugs and alcohol away, it's still you there. You're still present, you
Mhm,
know?
Yep.
So you have to do the footwork like we always talk about. Me and you always talk about
mhm,
doing the footwork and trying to help others.
mhm.
Because if you're not helping anybody, you're selfish.
Yep.
And if you're not willing to give away what you've been given freely, you're selfish.
But dude,
Yep.
here's the thing, and you know, this is a good topic and this is a good conversation because look, when we're trying to get clean, Ronnie, our mind isn't there, man. I mean, our mind isn't there. You know, we're dealing with the wreckage of our past. We're dealing with, you know, we're dealing with, I don't know, maybe yours, everything was great for you. With me, I owe the banks, I owe the corner stores. I ran checks, and we were talking about this the other day.
Yep.
You and I,
Me
him and
too.
I, we're you too.
Bad
But
checks.
yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
right here, Nick's corner, man. I bounced some checks, and he treated me like crap. The Pearland State Bank, I bounced like 6 checks. You know, my family members, you know, all the wreckage that I had, and I was trying to stay clean. You know, and it was like, man, I just, you know, sometimes I felt like giving up. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you what saved me. I don't know about y'all, but my sponsor saved me. Without him, I wouldn't have done it, man. Because just like you said, is that, hey, I call you in the morning. All you need is that one person to believe in you. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Eugene too.
Right on,
Shout
Cacheton.
out.
Right on. I mean, you know, like I said, he today, everything that I use today is what he taught me when those 2.8 years that I met him. I use everything today. You know what I mean? I don't recommend. I've been without a sponsor for almost 6 years, 7 years, maybe. I don't recommend that to anybody, but I run my program the way I run it, and I've been, you know, I've been happy for the most part. You know, I'm not saying that I would continue. I am kind of looking for a sponsor, but it will come with due time. I don't know where that came from, but you know,
I
it will
guess
come with due time when I'm ready to find him, and then when we meet and we fall in love, you know, we will you know, I'll let you know. You know what I mean? Lisa, you're gonna have to share. Let you know, baby.
Yeah, I'm sure she won't have a problem
She
with
ain't
that.
gonna mind. No, she ain't mind. She wants me off her plate. for a while.
But hey, that's the beauty of it. That,
It is the
that you're
beauty of it, man.
open-minded and willing to accept that.
Of course.
That's the beauty of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, that's, to me, like I said, all that stuff. Now, let's fast forward. A lot of beautiful things have happened in my life. I'm pretty much content a lot of the times. Now I do get discontent. But then I get grateful. I start thinking about, man, I remember, man, before I met Lisa, I used to, dude, I have to go take my wash and put it in the truck, take it to go to the car to get it. I wouldn't take my clothes to the car wash. I take it to the washteria. One day, Grant, I was sitting in my living room when her and we rented a house together. And I'm sitting there and I'm sitting in my living room and I had this thing. I was like, I went and turned the dryer on and I went and sat down and watched TV. And I'm like, holy shit, I have a washer and dryer and I'm watching TV in my living room. You know what I mean? And just the most simple, dude, we get to appreciate the small things in life, man. They matter. Those things, you know what that is, bro? That's gratitude, man. To lose the ability, the freedom to have just as simple as a washer and dryer. I used to, and not to take up a lot of times, I remember I used to tell, Lisa knows, because when I met her, I lived in a little 4x4 little room, remember? So I don't know, that's 4x4, maybe 6x6. It was about this size either way. I was like, hey, you want some breakfast? Sure. I took out this, what do you call it? Like a skillet. I took out a skillet and then I placed it on the sink and I plugged it in. She's like, I was like, get ready for the breakfast of your life. You ain't messing around. Made some eggs, freaking hot dogs, the little weenies. This thing was like caught, and every time I put the weenie, it would fall, hit the ground. I never told you that I cleaned it off, by the way. I'm sorry. I was like, you'll be all right, But dude, you imagine, man? I remember those days, man. I remember those days of suffering, not really suffering, man, because that brings me back when I get all in my head and I think about all the bullshit that's going on in my life. And I like you used to say, I'm a great learner, but what am I? I'm a fast learner, but what?
A good listener.
I'm a faster forgetter.
Yeah.
I forget where I come from. We forget where we come from, man. Right?
Remember your bottom, so that when you want to use, you recall, why am I not using?
Right. Absolutely.
What are the things that got me into recovery?
Right.
And put that to memory.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. You know, is that what I'm saying? Go.
Yeah. So when we were talking about the washer and dryer thing, I know Raul was hitting me with these elbows over here.
No. You know why, right? The only reason, because like with these two mics, if you get real close to them, it sounds crazy. So you want to be like this far away from it.
Well, that's
good.
Ricky's fault.
And these two mics, we got to be close up.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
only
That's right.
reason.
Yeah.
So me and Rachel had a 1-bedroom apartment when
Uh-huh.
we first got clean,
Mm-hmm.
and we would have to go to this little building to wash our clothes. And I bought some real nice. She bought me a whole bunch of real nice collared shirts. And I was all, I was happy, feeling myself like, yeah, I look good.
She used to clothe you? She used to tell you what to
She
wear?
still does.
I
Look.
told you, Lisa.
So I went there to get my stuff, and
Uh-huh.
somebody had stolen my fucking shirt,
What?
man. And it brought me back to that when you talked about just being grateful to have a washer and a dryer. Because I remember how happy we were when we got a washer and dryer that was
It's
in our
amazing,
house.
dude. It's
It was one of the best
amazing.
feelings in the world.
Absolutely.
And you think about that, and the goals we have now. It's a beautiful fucking thing, man.
It is, man.
That we get to do all this stuff just
Yeah.
by not doing dope or alcohol one day at a time consecutively.
Right.
It's awesome.
No, I get it, man. I thought the exact same thing. And then the blessings just keep coming, man. They go from one step to another step to another step and so on and so forth, and we just continue to live life. I mean, we lose along the way, Grant. We lose things, we lose people. I lost my father 2 weeks before my 3-year anniversary. In fact, I remember, I don't think you two guys were there when I went in there and MF'd everybody.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there?
Mm-hmm.
You were one of the ones that walked outside?
Yes.
Yeah. I love you, bro. Thanks. I don't remember you being one of the ones. I know Jeff was.
Your memory's not that good.
It's not. I'm getting
It's
older.
okay.
I'm getting a little older.
It's all right.
You know what I mean?
We still love you.
Yeah. Thanks, man. But so you were there. Were you
Mhm.
there, Rachel? Because I don't think if you were there, I would have been a little scared. I wouldn't have acted that way. I don't think if you would have been there. Yeah, because you made me a cake. Yeah, a pineapple upside down cake. Because you don't love me. She did. She did. But I remember I came in, man, and I meffed everybody. And then years later, when I come in and pick up my chip, I always talk about it, man. I talk about how, I think the first year, a couple years, I wasn't able to pick up build the courage to apologize to anybody. In fact, I didn't for like years. And I think in my 8th or 9th year or something like that, I went ahead and told everybody, hey, y'all motherfuckers, I'm sorry for, going in there and treating y'all bad, but y'all kind of deserved it, and but I take it back anyway, whether I deserved it or not. And I didn't say it like that, but I did say, right.
Mhm.
I took it back and I apologized to everybody, and that's what we do, right? That's what we do. We apologize to people, and we're gonna be doing karaoke next week here and on the podcast. By the way, Rachel
Okay.
Dunn said it. Yes, you want that mic,
Yeah.
right? Let me ask you something, man. What have you done where you've made what mistakes? See me, I've made some mistakes, and I went back and fixed them. What experience can you tell our audience of something that you've made mistakes? What have you done with your family to repair the wreckage of your past? When you share a couple of those with it, get humble with us.
Yeah. So as far as making amends with my mom and my dad, I made amends with them the first time I got clean. How much changed between the time I got clean and where I'm at now? I just did the 9th step, back in June or July, and wanted to have that amends conversation, and it didn't need to be had. She didn't want that.
Who?
My mother.
She didn't want to hear it.
No, she said, you've changed the way that you lived. You've got a career, you went to school, you were, taking care of all your stuff. You're not a burden. Just keep doing what you're doing. Right. So my amends conversation with my mom, I'm never going to have. It's continuing to live the way that I live and do the things that I do. That's the living amends that I have to make with her. There's a lot of, other small amends of, me just being a terrible friend and doing some other things. Fortunately, I never stole stuff and didn't really have to go repay anybody for anything. That wasn't really my MO. I just worked harder and harder. I'd hit side licks on, I would redo a roof or change somebody's brakes or something just to get what I needed to pick up that day.
Can I interrupt you real quick? And
Yeah.
I know that I know what you're thinking, but
No, y'all don't know what
I
I'm
hear
thinking.
myself. I hear myself in something, and I need to point it out. I have to say it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep quiet, but I got to point this out. I remember somebody telling me, because I also at one time I didn't steal. I didn't steal from anybody, and this cat called me out. He says, "Hey man, Cruz, what do you mean you didn't steal? You didn't steal from your parents and your loved ones. You didn't steal their sleep, their worry. Dude, you stole something more valuable than time. You stole time, and from your parents and your loved ones. I mean, does that make sense? Or when he told me that, I was like, you're right. You know what I mean? I sold a lot of my belongings, boy. I had gathered a lot of shit. You know what I mean? I sold it all. And when I told him I never stole, and he says, dude, you stole your dad's sleep. You stole their peace. You know what I mean? Think about that. And then I changed my mind. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to change yours. I'm just saying that perspective that we talk about, you know what I mean? It's to me, time, man, you can't give back time. Now we can earn it back. We could earn people's trust, and by doing service work and all that, we've been taught that, right? And that's how we give back. But anyway, I just want to put my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely put them through a lot. So, for them to just be happy for where I'm at and that I'm not still doing the same stuff I'd been doing, I'm good with it. I'm sure that there are other conversations down the road, and she doesn't know it, but for her birthday, I'm getting her a nicer gift than I've ever got her. But it's like,
Way to fucking ruin it.
Yeah, no, yeah, right.
Yeah. I hope she's not watching.
Yeah.
she's not. She didn't want to. But
Wait. You talking about your mom?
yeah.
Oh shit.
No. We
Yeah.
That's like a weekly amends because I'm still not perfect. I fuck up.
What?
Yeah,
What?
the thing I like to say is broken crayon still color, right? Like I'm still in fucking pieces, but I'm just doing my damnedest to put some color on that white page. Like that's it. And I still make mistakes. I still have to apologize. I still lack
No.
in certain areas
Yeah?
of my life, but
Huh.
it takes courage and humility to go, you know what? Yes, I'm being a dick. And that's the three things that I have for the day. And the last one is try not to be a dick, right? Because that's another living amends because I've been in
Mine?
I knew that was gonna happen.
because
Guess who's not going to Vegas this year?
the thing that I learned pretty quick is not just addicts but people in general, we're very, very powerful, right? We have the ability to give someone light or take it away in simple interactions. Being a douchebag at the grocery store because you want plastic bags instead of paper bags, or whatever nitpicky thing it is, flicking somebody off on the road, cutting people off, being rude to the server when they're overwhelmed and have bad service and they didn't give you a water in 20 minutes. And I'm like very impatient with that stuff.
So what do you do when somebody spills his drink on you?
I try to respond in kindness.
I think I did that pretty good when they spilled it on me because I was.
Give it.
Uh,
Tell her the
uh,
story. What happened?
We went out to eat when Rachel's aunt was here,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to Texas Roadhouse, and the guy came asked for everybody's drink, and of course he's gonna spill the whole thing on me,
Mm-hmm.
and it took some humility and calmness. I just stood
But you
up.
fire your contractor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you went through your freaking roof.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
happens, but that's all right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, some things are easier than others, right? It's progress, not perfection.
Mm.
so I want to go around the table. I'm gonna start with Ricky, and then we'll come around this way.
I'm not supposed to talk. You can skip me.
You've been talking the whole time.
Go start with Raul. Start with Raul because Raul's over there taking over the mic. Go, Raul. Start with
Raul.
him side. Yeah.
So I'm gonna give a question, and then I want all
Well,
of us
start
to
with
answer.
him. Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself today?
Learn about you. Oh.
Shit. Today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From the podcast or just from waking up this morning?
Just life in general.
Oh,
What have
okay.
you learned about yourself today?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Man, I don't know, man. Because I got like 1,000,001 thoughts racing through my head. Like
I can think of a few.
about me?
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, wait.
Strong will, perseverance.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
There's just a few to name a few.
Yeah.
But we don't want to know what you think he learned. We want to know what he learned today. What did you learn? What did you pick up today? What's one thing that you picked up when you woke, when your feet hit the ground? Did you like, oh man, I need to put this shoe on first? Or what did you learn today? What's one thing that you learned today?
Man, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't
No?
know. I don't know, man.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Ronnie, what about you?
When I realized that I didn't do the same thing that I normally would, like when I surprised myself. Was there any situation today that was just like, that was different?
Well, what I didn't do today was like I've been trying to get out of the house as much as possible, right?
That's good.
So
That's great, man. That
I've-
is absolutely awesome. Tell us about that.
I've been here a lot.
Yeah? Yeah. You've been putting some time in here, man.
Yeah, just to get out of the house.
And you
man.
came in yesterday too.
Yeah.
You came in yesterday. You've been here the last several days, dude. I mean, you did an amazing job in here, man.
we're
It
still
looks,
working,
it
man.
looks, and you've done a great job.
We still got more to go.
Yeah.
How about we keep those curtains up?
Oh, on
Yeah,
this
yeah,
side, right? Hey, did you jump on that as soon as I sent it yesterday?
I did. You see how you got
You talking about me?
No. Brett, so how much? Oh, go ahead, finish.
So about the what did I learn about myself today?
Yeah.
For me, I'm not in control of anything, and I'm okay with that. You know, like we were talking about earlier, how we try to control every aspect of our life, and now I just get out of the way.
No. What did you learn today? You say that all the time, though. I'm not in
No.
control. You say that half the time I talk to you. What did you learn today? Different
My perspective has changed
today?
every day.
Just today?
Every day.
No, we want to know today.
Today.
Oh yeah, today.
I mean, the things that I thought were important yesterday are not important today.
Amen.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of this stuff, man. I don't complicate it, Ricky.
Mm,
I just stay in the moment and keep it moving.
okay.
If I get all caught up
So
in
what
next week,
happened today? You were caught in the moment. What happened?
oh, it was just work stuff. But
Work stuff, yeah.
but you can start your day over at any time. That's the beauty of this stuff. Start your day over. If you're having a bad day, say a prayer at 9 o'clock. Say a
Mm.
prayer at 9:15. Because you can start over
What about
whenever
people
you
that
want.
don't believe in God? What about people that don't believe in God? What do you tell them?
Fake it till you make it.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, we've said that to people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we believe in a higher power. It may not be God, maybe a higher power, whatever it may be. Just don't believe in a doorknob because that it'll turn on you, right? Don't believe in a doorknob. Remember that, Lisa, especially you. Okay, that doorknob will turn on you. I promise you. So you next.
Uh,
You, sorry, Grant.
I learned that if I continue turning things over to God, my perspective or things that I think are bad, I turn them over and my mind gets changed pretty quick. My perspective on things. I hate crawl spaces. I had a crawl space today. All crawl spaces have snakes, and I gotta do the whole like to all the gods because I just got to get through it. I don't like snakes.
What do you
and
do?
I just I'm a home inspector.
Oh,
I deliver bad news all day for a
Oh.
living. Yeah. So I crawled under the house after I prayed about it, and no snakes, no problems. Is good.
Ricky,
Me, okay,
You're up.
man. 4 minutes. Rachel gave me. That's not enough, man. Rachel, you put a lot of pressure on me, man. You need to talk to your wife, dog.
hey man, she's
I'm
your
gonna
own
tell- look,
person.
I'm gonna tell you, man. First of all, I'm gonna tell you how grateful I am to be a recovering addict. And I'm very grateful for all of you guys being in my life, man. You know, and you and Naomi, you know, we're starting to hang out a little more and maybe we'll get to know each other a little better. And I'm gonna tell you something that happened the last couple of days, man. And yesterday, my daughter Chrissy, she had a breakdown, and I was fortunate enough that Lisa and Ricky, my youngest daughter, talked to Chrissy. She had a breakdown at a dealership. She went to pick up some parts, and they talked through it. They talked her through her panic attack, and they got her safely back. And when they got her back to me, man, the program, I jumped into high gear, man, and took her in my office, and we talked and talked, and I told her how much I loved her and how wonderful and beautiful she is and how proud I am of her. And she, I think she pretty much believed me. There was still some doubt in her. And then she went home, and then today she put on her makeup, she put on her warrior face and made it into work, right? And then I talked to her about some stuff about school and college, and she started breaking down again. And we went into my office and we looked up some counseling. And I told her how much I loved her and how proud of was of her. And you know where they came from, man. Eugene told me, listen, he told me because he called me doctor. I was the car doctor, so he called me, hey doc, listen, man, the best thing you can give someone is love, peace, and understanding, man. And I took my daughter in this office today before someone that I know interrupted, and she didn't interrupt, but we sat there, man, and we talked and we talked and we talked until I made her laugh and I made her smile. And I told her how proud I was of her, and I remember I using my experience of how terrible my life and our life used to be and where we're at today. And I said, Chrissy, look, man, every time that we start thinking, we start, listening to that between our ears, like you were saying earlier, man, is, we have that negativity that we think. Again, we need that one person to say, hey, listen, man, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. If nobody else is here for you, I'm here for you. And dude, she just burst out crying, and she came and hugged me, and she says, Dad, that's all I need. So we looked up counseling connections, and she clicked on there. She went through the process, and she made herself an appointment. She was seeing a therapist. I'm seeing a therapist, and I think I got him almost where I want him, right? But she is seeing a therapist too, but she wanted to see a female therapist because she said she's got female. She wants to talk
What
to
do
a
you want to
female.
put all that on?
I do. She's okay with it.
All right.
Yeah, she is okay with it. We talked about it.
Okay.
And yeah, but anyway, my point is that the something that I did different, or that you were saying, that's just something that I stopped this train. I stopped my train, man, and gave attention and to someone that I care about, which is we're supposed to do things for people. Who better yet than give to the ones we love near us? And the program in Narcotics Anonymous, man, I'm giving it to the people I love through peace and understanding and love. Ultimately,
That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up.
So the
Chat, drop that mic.
No,
not
Don't drop it.
don't
That
drop
one.
it.
Don't drop it. That one, man.
I'm a firm believer that there is no purpose until you serve a purpose. And I think we're serving a good purpose here. We're trying to reach out to people and from all backgrounds. We don't care what you look like, where you come from, just how we can help.
Mm,
The lie is dead. We do recover.
right on.
Grant, thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience, strength, and hope. And
Yeah, thank you.
we really appreciate it, Ricky.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, man. Great, man. Great shit. Great story.
Great story. Yes.
We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Be sure to follow us on all your social medias and YouTube. We appreciate you guys. As always, Ricky,
The lie is dead.
we do
Why?
We do
We
recover.
do recover, Grant.